So why science fiction and horror? Because that's kind of unusual. Normally, you just people just jump into I would guess I would say the regular type stuff, drama,
Hmm.
comedy, things like that.
Hmm.
But why would you take such a hiatus and then you come back and jump into what are two of, in my opinion, two of the most difficult genres, because everything's make believe, but
Hmm.
science fiction and horror, they have an extra layer because you have to world build.
Yeah,
So why did you decide science fiction and horror?
I'll tell you, and it's something that I really genuinely feel I can make up anything. I can be anyone that I want to be. No one can dictate my past. No one can tell me, no, that's not accurate. We can be anything. And so that is healing to me. It's restorative, and it validates people's experiences, even experiences that were invalid before, or just just not seen. So genre and horror, they're two they're two spaces that just allow you to really dream and allow you to fit in. Let's say, and that's not saying that in comedy and in drama that doesn't exist, but I just really really love the idea of being able to create without limits, without the
Hmm.
the restriction of it being grounded in reality.
So those two genres are very interesting genres. But I want to touch on science fiction. I'm just going to put my question thing down because I have gone off script.
Let's
Um,
do it.
but you know what? The science, because I'm really intrigued by that. So was Octavia Butler, because she is one of my favorite authors. Was she one of your inspirations as far as becoming someone who wrote science fiction?
It's funny, and it's she is, and she was, and she continues to be.
Hmm.
But my first inspiration for sci-fi was actually Steven Spielberg. And
Yes.
um growing up, that's what I saw. And he sold me on that dream. He sold me on the idea that I can go to my, I didn't have a backyard. I lived in an apartment, but I could go outside and accidentally find an alien and then
Mhm.
just change the world. I can be the lead in my own story and my own adventure. And that really, really stuck with me. And it really feels good to be kind of in charge of your own narrative. And so Steven Spielberg started that dream for me. And then I started just getting fuel and being built by other women, really Black women
Mhm.
in those spaces, and Octavia was absolutely one of them.
Okay. So I saw in another interview where you said that you actually use and help me out if I misquote this, that you use real life to kind of scare people into doing the right thing. What did you mean by that?
So I think there's two things. One is I was really saying that in the space of public service announcements and
Okay.
how they are um how how to use them correctly is
Right.
to kind of modify. You want to modify behavior ultimately. That's really, you
Hmm.
want people to do something. There's a call to action for every single PSA. So I wanted to use my ability to scare people into
Okay.
modifying behavior. But it does translate into my filmmaking because I feel like there are things that are scary to Black and brown people that are just not scary to everyone else.
Hmm.
And I think that before, there's a lot of conversations about it being a negative, but I really think that's a positive. I think that there is this opportunity to build these stories in these worlds that we've never seen before because we were never present.
Hmm.
So I'll give you an example. I forget what the name of the movie is, but there's these two little boys. They're two little white boys. They steal a cop car for a joyride. If and it was a coming of age story. If that same story happened to a Latino or a Black, two Black little boys, it would be very very different, and it can actually be a horror film.
Hmm.
So the things that scare us and the things that are threatening to our well-being and just our human condition in general, it's very different, and I think that we should embrace that. I don't think that we should fight for equality in that sense because this has never been equal.